Valentine's Day and Galentine's Day are just around the corner. If you're like me and you want to give a gift to your bestie, your coworker, your friends, your teachers, your kiddos, the love of your life, but you're running out of time, well, don't worry, I've got you covered. Heart-shaped corner bookmarks made from your favorite scraps will show just how much you care, and I'd love to show you how to make them. The materials you're going to need are going to include 4 cuts of 4-inch squares of cotton woven fabric. You'll also want 4-inch squares of woven interfacing as well. A 4-inch square of paper to use as a template, scissors for both paper and sewing, your favorite marking tool, a pencil, and something to push the corners out with, and of course, coordinating thread. Start out by applying the interfacing to 2 of the squares. Next up, grab your piece of paper folded in half on the diagonal. Then you're going to draw a heart along the fold, starting at about halfway down and ending halfway down on one of the sides. Make sure you're going to leave enough room for your seam allowance. Then go ahead and cut it out. Grab one of the interface squares and one of the uninterfaced squares, put them right sides together, and then trace out your template for your heart. Pin the fabric together so it stays in place, then cut out your heart. Then pin the top of the heart together. You are going to end up sewing from one straight edge about halfway down around the curve to the other straight edge. Be sure to use a narrow seam allowance. 1/4 inch will work. I am using a 1/8 inch because I don't want to have to trim back too much. Go ahead and clip into the V without cutting through the stitches, and then clip around your curves before you turn it right sides out. Be sure to push out your seam so you have a nice crisp heart shape. Then you can give your heart a nice little press. It's optional, but I highly recommend top stitching the seam. With your remaining squares right sides together, sandwich the heart into the corner. Then of course pin in place all the way around the edges. You're going to sew around the edges, leaving one corner open with about 2 inches on each side of the corner. Sew again with a narrow seam allowance. Be sure to backstitch at the start and end so you don't pop any seams when you go to turn it out. Clip the 3 corners so that you can reduce the bulk when you turn it. Reach into your opening, making sure that the heart and the interface side are together when you turn it right sides out. Then once it's turned all the way around, make sure you push out your corners. Grab a tool if you need to make sure everything's nice and crisp. And follow that up with a good press around the seams. To close up the opening, fold in the seam allowance and press each side. Be careful not to burn yourself, and then you're going to sew the opening closed. This is a little tricky. Just fold back the heart and top stitch around the backing section only. Be sure to backstitch at the start and finish so that you have seams that stay in place. These are so much fun and they're easy to make that you'll whip them up in no time. So go on, go make some. But before you go, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all the things. And I'll see you in the next one. Before you hop away, drop down to the video description to sign up for my newsletter and receive this frog coin pouch pattern for free.